Has anybody seen my dignity? I lost it someplace. And it is a true blessing to be here, and we are so thankful for your support, and I am also thankful for our wonderful staff. And we want to share just a very brief report about some of the wonderful things that have been taking place in the past 3 years, some of them very recently. To begin with, we have been blessed by the fact that all but one of our missionary families have been with us for the past week and here at the General Conference sessions. The India Field Director Samir and Chadasila Singha and their daughter Madhumita were supposed to be here, however they were unable to get their visas arranged in time, so we're sad that they weren't able to join with us. But last week we had our first ever CGGC missionary retreat, July 18 through 20 in Northeast India. And there you see the assembled missionaries as well as the commission members at Pokagon Park. It was just a wonderful experience. We had Eleanor Poe, who was providing our teaching, group facilitation, and also we had opportunity to worship. We celebrated the ordinances together, and significantly, this was an opportunity for our missionaries to pray together and to get to know each other. Some of them had never met. And so it was just a wonderful time of bonding. And so it was such a blessing to see that happen and to see that continue. Even here at the conference, we've seen them talking together and really connecting. And we look forward to what God will do through that kind of connection. And so it's a real blessing to be part of that. We have had opportunities to develop more Here Are My informational weekends, and there's a schedule of what takes place during the Here Are My weekend. We try to do at least 2 of these a year in various parts of the General Conference, and it's an opportunity for those who are seeking to be involved in missions to either go as a missionary or just to become more aware of what's taking place in Churches of God missions. And so please see me if you are interested in hosting that and being part of that. Also, short-term missions training is a new program that we began this past February here in Findlay, but we can take it on the road. And in fact, September 21st, we will take it on the road. And we are doing this in cooperation with Lance Findlay with the Transformational Ministries. And we look forward to seeing more people involved in helping to have a great short-term missions ministry. And as you've read the book, When Helping Hurts, or if you haven't yet read that, you'll see some criticisms, and we're seeking to try to take those criticisms to heart and to improve the short-term missions experience. This past 3 years, we've had a number of missionary interns. The Snyder family and McIntyre family, these two families went into internship and also into missions full time, and it's such a blessing to see how the internship ministry can do that. But we're also seeking to employ it as a ministry to our young adults, as a transformational part of their life where they can give a significant amount of time to serving the Lord in cross-cultural ministry. And to date, in the past 3 years, we've had Sarah Mon in Bangladesh, Christina Miles in Mozambique, and she just came back yesterday. So she wasn't able to be here. She's had a whole year in Mozambique. And also earlier this year, we had Latasha Higgins in Haiti. We're looking for more people to be involved, more young adults who are willing to step out and to really focus on what God is doing in their life. Whether they are going to end up being career missionaries or not, the internship ministry is an opportunity for them to explore God's call in their life. And so we look forward to seeing more young adults stepping into this, as well as those who are seeking to go into missions full time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I don't have much time. He's scheduled to wear the shirt later today. One of the other training things that we do is the Unveiling Glory Seminar. It's been revised recently from 5 sessions down to 4, but we can do just parts of it. You see listed some of the churches that have had me in to do this. It's a great way for local churches to better understand and take a fresh look at the Word and also the world to see their role in declaring God's glory to the nations. So please let us know how we can serve you. We exist to serve you. I want to express appreciation to all of you for your involvement, your support of prayer and finances. The ministry continues to grow because of faithful people like you who are encouraging your churches to give and to be involved, to go yourself and to make more people aware of what's happening. I want to take a few moments to recognize some significant churches that during the last 3 years have contributed in large ways to our designated ministry for cross-cultural ministry. And I want to begin with the top 5 churches who have given in total designated giving. I'll begin first with Indian Head from the Allegheny region. And I have a certificate I'd like for Pastor Doug, where are you? To come forward and receive this. It simply says Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is awarded to Indian Head Church of God for providing exemplary leadership and support of total designated giving to CGGC Cross-Cultural Ministries 2010-2012, presented during the 54th Triennial session of the Churches of God General Conference, July 24, 2013. Thank you so much for your leadership. During the Triennium, Indian Head gave in excess of $81,000 to cross-cultural designated ministry. Number 4 on the list, and all 5 of these certificates basically say the same thing. We've not indicated on it that you're number 1 or number 5 or whatever. It says the same thing, exemplary leadership. Number 4 is Olive Branch Church from Midwest region. Jeff Burns is here. Please come. Olive Branch Church gave $114,523. Number 3 on the list is Shippensburg Church of God from Eastern Region. Pastor Steve Dunn. Shippensburg gave $129,886. Number 2 on the list is Highview Church of God, which gave... where's my list? Highview Church of God gave $102,811. Pastor Highview is not here. We'll make sure they get this. Is there a delegate from Highview? We'll make sure they get it. Thank you. Number 1 on the list, giving a grand total of $161,745 during the 3 years to cross-cultural ministries is Hanover First Church of God, Eastern Region. Make sure they get it. Now, also, I've identified the 5 churches that have given the highest per capita. That is, the total amount that they've given divided by their average worship attendance during the 3 years. Number 5 on the list is Lancaster First Church of God, Eastern Region. So anyone from Lancaster? Lancaster averaged $194 per month. Number 4 on the list, averaging $233 per capita, was Highview Church of God, the only one that was on both lists. And again, the pastor or delegate is not here. Number 3 on the list, averaging $280, was Hinton Church of God from the Midwest region. Make sure they get it. Number 2 on the list is Cherry Grove Church from Eastern Region, averaging $411. And number 1 on the list, averaging $582 per member, is the Zanesville Church of God in Midwest Region. Don was here last night, is not here today, so we're thankful for these churches that we recognize, but what we do cannot be done without all of us working together as a family. So I thank you so much for that. I also want to highlight the fact that there are some persons who have really stepped forward in the last 3 years to help us in missions education and missions advancement. My philosophy is I'll go to any church, large or small, who invites me. And I know Ben wants to do the same thing and has been doing that. But because of some volunteer missions advancement people, they've been able to get in some churches that we've never been in, even though I've served 18 years. And so I just want to recognize some people who have meant so much to us. George and Martha Yerger, would you come forward? And I know they don't like to do this, but please come in. He's talking, surprise. Certificate awarded to George and Martha Yerger for their servant leadership as missions advancement volunteers on behalf of our cross-cultural ministries 2010-2012, presenting during this session. Thank you so much for all that you do, George.
Thank you. When George retired from ministry, our dream had been to have an RV, be full-time RVers, and see the USA, but God had a better plan. We have been on 5 continents seeing our mission work. This is the greatest God adventure I've had yet.
It's over. Whatever she says. Ken and Betty McIntyre, would you come forward? They retired from teaching and became missions advancement volunteers, and then they became special assignment missionaries to Haiti, and they're there about 6 months out of the year. But when they're back here, they still do this kind of volunteer work for us, telling the story. So we appreciate your service, that you're not wasting retirement years. You're investing in the kingdom. Thank you so much.
But I can't let this pass without saying, you know, all that we have and all we're blessed with here in America is a gift from God that He's given and entrusted to us as His people to share. So please, you're about to see some people that are still in need on mission fields. And please let that touch your heart and let God speak to you and give as He freely gives to us.
And then finally, a couple that I know are not here, but Jim and Casey Brinson and their family served the last few years in this capacity as well. We'll make sure they get the certificate. But I appreciate their willingness to go and to tell the story and to serve, to extend our ministry and your ministry in just a lot of valuable ways. Finally, I want to highlight the fact that I think we have a great Cross-Cultural Ministries Commission, and I just want to introduce, they're not all here, but if you're here, please stand. Joyce Hornbaker from Shippensburg Church of God, Lori Harrison from Germantown Church of God, Karen Norris is from the Catalyst Church here in Findlay, Pastor Ken Thomas from Worcester, Stacy Dix from Indian Head, Michael Wheeler from Olive Branch Church of God, and Phil Wallace, our newest member from Leadwood. I don't think any of them are here, but they were all, most of them were a part of our retreat. Just to highlight, out of the 7 voting members, 3 of them are women, and we only have 1 pastor, so we're making progress. Whatever that means. I do want to make you aware of the fact that our administrative assistant, Pam Lopez, will be leaving us later in August. She is become engaged and wants to relocate closer to her fiance in Southern Ohio. We will miss her greatly, but we'll be announcing very soon who the new person is serving in that capacity. So encourage Pam to give her thanks when you see her. I want to highlight, and I missed a slide, very important. Can you back up? Thank you. We have some missionaries that are currently underfunded. And some of them by a little bit, some of them by a lot. I want to highlight those for you, simply to say, you know, pray about this, go back and talk to your churches about this. Some of them are desperate situations. We have a couple missionaries that we've been giving quarterly contracts to because we could not commit an annual contract to. That's uncomfortable. It's either that or we reduce their compensation to the level that the support is there. So you can make a difference if you tell the story and get others involved. As a part of that, I want to highlight the fact that 41.5% of our churches did not give to designated accounts in 2012. We have a lot of churches that are unengaged, and they need to get hitched up to what God's doing in our denomination. So if you're a part of that, we would love to come to your church and talk about what is happening, and we want to help facilitate that. So pray for these missionaries, pray for ways that we can expand our giving and be more involved. We are your denominational missions agency. Together we're accomplishing more than what any of us can do by ourselves, and I thank you for what you're doing. God bless you.